Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1625 of What You Up To Now, documenting the journey as I transitioned originally in 2017 from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. Spent about over a quarter century in corporate America while simultaneously running, building, buying, selling, supersizing and growing businesses in at least 27 different industries. Then, following my divorce, had the opportunity to say, okay, this is my reset. What do I really want to do now? And I decided I had always been curious about the online world ever since the internet's inception, and I had poked and prodded a little bit in my spare time, but I never had time to really jump in and find out what it was all about. So in 2017, joined ClickFunnels certification program, which they then canceled the next year and then now just relaunched again. Great program, great value, great way to learn the things that you need to learn in order to serve people at a high level. So I'm glad they reintroduced that program. But that was my first taste of real online involvement. And I did it not because I wanted to make funnels for other people or have an agency, but because I wanted to learn a foundational way of building businesses online so I could help people that were offline, not in the online world, get the best, fastest, easiest supersized results for themselves without having to become online experts, right? Not having to know everything. So a couple pieces of content I learned to publish from Russell Brunson and Steve Larson that I needed to publish. And as my vision deteriorated, it just made sense for me to get over my fear of video and start using video as my way of journaling and keeping track of what I'm doing in the online and the offline world, and then to share that with other people as well. So every day, and it's been every day for about 5 years with the exception of Christmas 2019 when I had COVID, I have gotten online and published. And the days around that, I would imagine, are pretty rough. I haven't had the guts or the gumption to go back and watch them, but I'm sure they're pretty bad. I couldn't even talk for several days, and I was coughing up a lung for about 3 weeks after that. But that was the one day that I missed and didn't have an opportunity. And I think there was one other day in those years that we had technical difficulties and I didn't get a chance to get online. But otherwise, this is my 5th year in a row of doing an annual challenge. And this year's annual challenge is the BU 365-day challenge, just to do one thing every day that improves us in some way, that makes us a better person and a better version of ourselves. So this month, the month of July, we're focusing on, I'm using a life framework for the first 9 months of the year to have just a topic, because otherwise I want to do one thing every day that improves me. Where the heck do you start? Most of us wouldn't even know where to begin. So to help me understand where to begin and where to start, I use a life framework. It had 7 components that I learned from Tony Robbins in probably the early 80s. And I've used that because it gave me structure in how I wanted to think about my life, my goals. And it reminded me, although I didn't take my own advice for several decades, to lead a life that included all the different areas and aspects of our life that are important. Our health, our physical, our mental, emotional, our spiritual, our financial, our relationships, and our contribution, which we're talking about this month. And then last year, as we're still in the pandemic, I got involved with a coaching group that deals with core skills like communication, confidence, a lot of NLP, which, I like Tony Robbins, so I like NLP. I've never studied NLP, but I find it fascinating. So when I'm attracted to something, I pay attention to that. So I added confidence and communication as 2 core foundational areas that I want to work on going forward. And so if I'm working on it, I share it here and I share it with you. So this month we'll talk about contribution every day in the annual challenge, and to make my life simpler this year, I'm also using that as the topic for my Supersize Your Business for Female Entrepreneurs group. And so every day I pick an idiom or find an idiom that has to do with the topic of the month. So this month's contribution. So today's was, what do you bring to the table? And we talked about what do you bring to the table in a bunch of categories, which ties into our topic for the annual challenge today, which is Big You. What is it that you bring and can offer other people? And I like to look at this from, where do I really want to spend most of my time and energy? And so I ask myself, and I ask the people that I interact with, what do you love to do? What are you curious about? What's of interest to you? That's the things you love to do, and that all falls in this circle. what are the skills and experiences you've had and the things that you've done that you are able to share with other people. That forms the purple circle. The green circle is, because I deal with business owners a lot, is what will people pay you for, or what do people value that you know or have skills or love that you could, well, have skills and experience and love to do that you could offer and share with other people. And then I add this big blue circle, what makes the world a better place? Because there are things that clearly make the world a better place, and there are things that clearly don't make the world a better place. So where all four of these things intersect, that forms this sweet spot or genius zone, and that's where I now, the older I get, spend more and more and more of my time and energy. If it doesn't fall and answer those four questions and fall into one of those or all of those four categories, I find it really easy to say no to those things now. You know, will you just hop on a quick 15-minute call with me? No. Will you, if it doesn't have something to do with all four of those areas that can help me be better and offer more value to the world and bring more to the table, the answer is just automatically no. That makes life so much simpler and easier than not having identified these things. Am I always tweaking what goes in and out of these individual circles, these four circles? Yes. But if it doesn't meet all four criteria, it's easy for me to say no. It's a great decision-making tool, and it's more than that. It's where can I add the greatest value in my life, in other people's lives, to the world in general. And that's what's uniquely me. And just like my mug says today, no one is you, and that is your superpower. So if you're in doubt and you're like I used to be and say, oh, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I'm not good at anything. I can do a bunch of little things, but nothing really, really awesome that stands out and says, this is what you are destined to do. You know, no singing voice, you know, no super duper awesome artistic talent, although I love artistic things and creative things. That falls into my love, but the stuff I create, people would probably not pay me for. So and people wouldn't value it like I value it. So it's probably something, and do I spend just a teeny bit of time on those things because they make me feel good? Yes. But would I spend the vast majority of my time on it? No. So here's an example of what falls in my sweet spot. Teaching and spending time and energy with my granddaughters. Why? Because I love, love, love and adore them. I have the skills and abilities and experience to positively impact their lives. They will value it. They might not now, and my 1-year-old, 7-year-old does, but the 1-year-old might not get it yet. But does it make the world a better place? Yes. Creating great human beings, positive, self-confident, skilled and able and loving, kind human beings, that definitely makes the world a better place. So I like to spend time on that in my sweet spot, in my genius zone. So that's a little bit of what I'm working on today. Always working on the annual challenge since I've done those, and I find that challenges have had such a profound impact and a positive impact on my life. I want to share that with other people. So if I can help you in any way, if you've got any questions, if you're stuck on something, if you're I don't know what I want. One of the biggest frustrations I have had in my life has been telling myself I don't know what I want. And mostly it was, I knew what I wanted, but I was somehow reluctant to ask for it because I didn't think I deserved it. I don't know where that comes from. So many of us humans have that belief, and it's probably because people have tried to stomp on us or push us down or harm us in ways because they didn't feel good about what they were doing or where they were or what they deserved, because life is a reflection, right? We reflect back to people what we get from them, but we also project what we believe about ourselves onto other people, and that's what we see in other people. All right, have an awesome day. I'm going to go get to work. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Bye.